me the points, like what did you guys went through yesterday keywords? Please go through that last like kind of 2 to 3 day session keywords in the same link what we have. Did I update it? No, I think last 20. Can you guys anyone please add me the point, share the points like what did you guys learn yesterday? Please go ahead.
NLP creation.
Yeah. Can you anyone like talk about NLP? What is the NLP thing?
Yeah, basically NLP supports the TCP UDP protocol basically. So here one more feature they have added security group, which is not earlier, it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have created security groups for NLP as well as connection between NLP and ALP we done, and in between we created security groups for the each LVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some of the like whatever the you can say learning sources, something you discussed about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we did that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would request you guys now something we need in when time like use this kind of little. I used to play psychological literal. If something new feature comes in, until they ask it, let's little hide. Then you say that if they're not asking that, at the end you only take the choice and then tell that recently has been introduced. So that what is that meaning? You are following the latest technology, also something updates and all. It will be very curious. So when you say that, so just whenever new feature comes, let's hide that until the interview ask it. Do you know some updates came? At the end, otherwise, if they are not asking, tell that recently AWS introduced, I got through the some kind of their paper or the
yeah, sure,
document, something like that. So that is the kind of psychological tick.
yeah,
You can, I mean,
sure,
yeah,
thank you.
cool. So just 2 minutes, I'll go through the just normal kind of flow. So we were on the purely infra layer. When I say infra, compute storage network. Storage, S3, EBS volume, there are other services. So along with the infrastructure, there are the good layers are there. I used to say, right, keywords infra, 3 layers are very important. Compute, storage, the total. And then now these guys are coming. The security and one more is the observability and one more is the automation. So all these whatever we do, these are all will come under the automation. So our job is to make sure all this setting up this thing. Okay. So under compute, the elastic IP address, security group related you created, and then the load balancers you created, EC2 missions. So storage, we are not created it, but along with the EC2 creation, we were using one component. Can you guys help me here? What is the component we were using along with EC2? What is the
EBS volume? EBS.
EBS volume, which is called where we will install applications along with the OS. It will come when you are creating it. It can be you can have more than EBS volume. You can attach, detach, blah blah. You can take a backup, which is called AMI something, or volume. If you take backup, it will come as a snapshot something. Behind where they store, again, that where they store the backup of the AMI is something. Where
S3?
Yeah, S3. So we went through the like kind of keywords. So when I'm talking network, already like the layers, right? The elastic IP, public IP, private IP, and then the load balancer, one flow to another, security group, logical connection. I mean to say allowing to public or one security group to another security group, allowing to VPN IPs. You went through all these concepts under. So very, very core important topic, not only in the cloud, any cloud. So these are a little, I mean, with my experience, right? The other layers are little, if you know the some kind of concepts, you'll be able to understand. But very, very core mind mapping you should have very strong in the network area. So because our job will involve, like as you seen, right, anything request flow every day, but wherever I'm using, the behind the core layer is the network layer. So you go any cloud, everywhere EBS volume will be there, like another name will be there in the every cloud. Same EC2 is also will be there, another name. Storage also same, they segregated. They took this core principle. On top of core, they built the applications, but name will be different. Google will they use different, AWS will use, Azure will use, like kind of. So among them, very important one is the network one. So if you everywhere this network concepts will be there. If you understand one cloud, it will be the same topic in other clouds also. Little different names will differ. Okay. So can you guys help me here when I'm creating EC2 mission? You don't know, like I was every time I was correlating some keywords. When I'm creating a security group, I was telling it is scoped with region. In a region, if you create a security group, it will be in that region only. You cannot see that security group in another region. Can I see I created a role, IAM role policy and all. Can I see that in Mumbai? Can I see that in North Virginia or
Yes,
Ohio? Can I see
yes,
them?
yes. IAM is global, no? Because of that, we can see.
Yeah. So some services like you could have seen it Route 53 and then the IAM. So IAM, all these are all called global services. Like there are others also. So if you go, some services are regional, again within the VPC. They are scoped with VPC related. They are not global. They are not the regional level. They scoped at the VPC level. Very important. Okay. So if you're creating a security group, we went into a region. When I'm creating security group, at the end it is asking VPC. If you remember, when I'm creating EC2 also, so EC2 also same region, and it is again the same like VPC. Inside VPC, you are creating something called a zone, but we are not selecting zone. Internally, we are selecting a called subnet. You are selecting internally the subnet one. If you go little, I'll show it. Just get that. So what I mean here, like S3, when you're creating, for example, you don't ask that like kind of VPC or something. When you're creating IAM role, it doesn't ask. Some components it doesn't ask. So when you're creating this component, wherever IP address are coming, like the other guy, what is the other guy you created? If you remember, load balancer. You remember, it was supporting right like this, class zone. Internally, we're not selecting zones. Internally, we're selecting here again the subnets. So when you're creating anywhere else, IP addresses are coming. IP addresses. Listen that. You know the IP address will come under this layer, right? Network layer. So whatever you are creating the IP addresses or the flow of this component, all this component, all are comes under the networking. So what happens here in the cloud, they are providing the services, right? I'll repeat the keywords a couple of times. The same layer, compute, storage, and then the network layer. So these are all already they had given you like EBS volume here, like that. So you got one component by default, which is called VPC. Please, if you know VPC very well, it's very easy. The other layers, as I said, right? When you are strong on the ground, the compute storage network, the setting up above layers are very easy. Application layer set it up. Just you need a kind of concept. Please, as much as draw the conclusion. If you don't understand the VPC flow, remaining topics with my experience also, majority easy. This is the one component you have to connect the dots. So if you want to create EC2, you need a VPC, security group, same, and then the load balancer also you would require this component. So virtual private cloud. This is the name itself is saying it. Private. So why do we need this first? If you could have heard in the olden days of the cloud, whenever initial is like 10 years back something, if people talk about the cloud, first they say that, I mean, majority people who have a little idea, they say that no security. You could have said there is no security something and all they used to say in the olden days. But yes, you could have seen, right, with our examples. Can we control with the security group? Can we reference from one security to another security? We can do more tightly secure, right? You could have seen that. The IAM, the control of the IP addresses, everything you can control. So do you think insecurity in the cloud, anything with that roles we go? No, right?
No.
With that, we wanted to go more security within our control. Within our control. So the VPC, if you could have heard my keywords earlier days, why we are getting default VPC? Why can't EC2 missions are default running? Because VPC is the little complex topic. As an, like, for example, my sales team want to see the AWS cloud. They don't know the technical, right? What they'll go to AWS office. Already the default one for kind of demo, something you can think. They have that VPC infrastructure. They'll show the demo immediately EC2 mission without creating all VPC for sales team, right? So they gave that default one. But if you go with the default, right, we don't know. That has been designed by the cloud guys, how that setup is done. So majority people, any project, so we don't go with the default VPC. Why? Like that they control the environment. I wanted to control in my environment with my own security, then we prefer it. The VPC one. I want to control total setup within my environment. What does that mean? The IP addresses. If you observe the for EC2 mission, forget about the public IP. You could have observed what is the IP address is starting for EC2 missions. If you have observed starting a number, default number. When you create EC2 mission,
192.
private IP,
172.
I think they'll give 170. I think, yeah, 172 dot. I think so. In the default VPC, you will get with this series default IP addresses. No, I don't want to go with this series. I want to go with the, for example, either 10 series, or I want to go with the 192 series. I want to design my own network. In that case, so why do we want to design? This is the what? Security I wanted to control within our environment. That is the first thing. Any thoughts for now here? This is what? To control the security, to control the network, I would say that. Please, very important topic across all the cloud types, the VPC one. Network. This is the one. Cool. So that is the one reason. Like, how do we use it? This. You know, right? Security group, EC2 missions, the load balancers, all those, right? So for all the components we use, or I'll say that our resources one we use it. Cool. So I wanted to go with my own IP address range, my own security flow, and then the own network. If you create any EC2 mission, the default VPC, which IP addresses you are getting? Public and private, right? Both you are getting. So I don't want the public IP addresses. I want to control only the specific IP address range, private IP addresses. That's what here. Control, I'm telling, right? Within the control. So with this thought, right? So if you go to the environments, can you guys tell me, like, we design some applications, right? Flow. Let's say, for example, yesterday application only. I remember I was telling yesterday one image. Why was this? Yeah, this guy. You can, here is the one guy request. Here is the one guy is coming. Here is the one more guy is coming. And here is the another guy. So you see, right? One layer, another layer two, another layer two, something, right? Okay. Nowadays, no, the business is expanding. What is mean by business? Not the physical, the digital business. I'll give you a simple example to understand. Like, so they'll ask in the interviews also this kind of question. Okay, 2 tier, 3 tier, something. So we did the initial days the case one kind of application. No? What we did, we last created EC2 mission. We expose it to outside. As end user, you are accessing. Here is the server. Apache. Here is the end user client, the browser. We were accessing it. Then we introduced one more component. No? What was the component in between to bring the security? Please help me.
Load balance.
Yeah. Same. Here you kept a LB, load balancer here. Now, see, one tiers in the sense components increase, right? Here, how many components are coming right now? 2 components are coming. Now, some more we did, na? One more load balance, one more setup we did, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, NLB.
Here we kept a ALB, and before we kept one more guy, na? Sorry. Before we kept a NLB. Now, so type components are increasing right here again. Request going to NLB, ALB, forwarding to ALB, and then it is coming right. Now, which website are we using? Dynamic website or static website here?
Static.
So static it doesn't do computation logic, right? If you remember, we were discussing it, like computation, calculation,
Right.
going some way, collecting the data. It doesn't do that. Doesn't have intelligence. If you want the good intelligence one, we need to have some kind of storage system. It has just a second. Just a second. I'm getting the call. Sorry, my nature car. Yeah. So here is the storage system. When I say storage system, not the EBS volume, like we use a kind of storage layers called databases here. Where, like for example, when you enter your account number, how much amount is there, something transaction information, all will store here. This is the persistence layer. So you can see the historical of your data in the application end here. So whatever you are seeing the data, it is not storing in the Apache. Apache is the middle layer. Just it will collect the data somewhere from here, or the Java server, something. It will collect from here. You see right now can you guys tell me here how many tiles are here? For example, client, and then in between the load balancer layer, and then one more this guy here. Can you guys tell me here how many? If I ask you like some kind of how many tiles are there? How many numbers you see?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, right?
5.
Now, yeah, 5 depends upon like if you go now you guys are using in your real time regularly this guy you are using now. You guys are very familiarized also. I'll tell you example. Okay, now let me take this way. So you logged into let's say I want to book a bus. Earlier days we used to go to some place, right? Nowadays what are you doing? Like something Paytm,
Red bus.
yeah, like the red bus you are going, and then you think they have a load balancer, and then they have some kind of Apache or the like think it is running in the Python. You did it tracking in the red bus. You are booking API service again. So it will be the red bus company or the another company the request is going.
Another.
So now again load balancer, you think it from here to here request is transferring, right? From here to it will be behind, it will happen. It will go to again back to what is that? EPS RTC, and then their system again. Here also they'll have a database storage. From here, the application will not database to it will go from application to internal, it will go to load balancer, APS RTC, it will store in their database also. Like again, you are doing payment, right? So again, it will go to the UPI or banking. You see, right? the transaction layers. So from 1 to N, then to APS RTC, again to the payment. So nowadays, what apps you guys are using in the real time? The entire ones, entire apps. So before going to any VPC components, right, we need to understand in our application, whatever we are designing application, for what we are designing VPC, how many tiles are there? You should have that clarity that is what the first you need. So if you get any one requirement VPC, we ask like this: do you have database in your, so where and all application will connect? I ask this kind of question. Always we need to ask it requirement. So what and all servers you are keeping, how many databases, so load balancers, how many load balancers we need to have it, how end user will access, who will access this application, end users or internal teams or the business teams. We will ask all these questions. So first thing is know the flow of apps architecture, then divide into the flow. Like for example, end user, load balancer, then that is app layer. This is, if you ask me, right, this is the end user is, and then this is the one layer. I would say this, or this one is one layer. I'll group this one into one, or this one we will keep it. Example, I'll tell you. You got a land, you are building a home, you think VPC. How do you construct? Like we construct, right? Bedroom, hall, kitchen, something, right? We don't keep in the everything in the hall, and then we won't expose everything to outside world, right? It's a security. We wanted to keep the things in secrets. Like what we do when you get a purchase land, you are dividing very well. It is the entrance, it is the hall, and then bedroom, kitchen. In the same way, here also application point of view, I'm designing some of them. Databases, these are very important layers, right? You know, we were yesterday also I was telling, when you are migrating from one cloud to another or on-prem to the cloud, what is the first thing you have to ask? How much data was there? Based on that, I'll design it. This is a very important layer. This all you can rebuild. If you lost this, you cannot get back again. So with that, we'll keep some things are very secured. We're selling fifth DB layer. And one more extra layers, anything. So when you get a VPC, right? So in the default VPC, you are getting everything in the public. But when we go with uncontrolled VPC, we control which one needed here public, which one needed here in the private. Can you guys tell me here among this, which one we need to expose to the public here?
App layer.
Application layer.
Where is the one more guy? You think it?
End user. Load balance.
This guy is this guy. Yeah, that is correct. But so I want to go more secretive. I will expose only one guy. This guy, which guy in the load balancer only to the, when you remember when you're creating a load balancer, you have two options, no? Internet and intranet.
Intranet.
So I'll keep this one load balancer with my own VPC. I'll create this one in the public. For all this, you create a EC2 machine here. Public will be disabled. You won't see that public IP. It will be only, you will see the private IP. This also I will control. I will disable public. This also. Any other layers. These are all in our whole life. If you try outside, you cannot connect, because this I'll keep in the private. Only if you want to come into this as an end user, you will have this guy. What is this guy? Load balancer only as an end user. Can you guys help me? If I want to reach as an admin, I need one more guys. If I'm keeping this one in the public, you know that. As an admin, if I want to access this one from outside, you know one guy. I need to come via one guy. You know that, please.
Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion. So these are all components I'll keep in the public. The all remaining components I'll keep in the private. What does that mean? You need to know the application architecture. You have to design in such a way that architecture-wise in the VPC. In the default VPC, they don't divide anything. Just they'll expose everything to outside world. They'll expose. When I'm going with my own VPC, I will divide like one is the public, and one more is the apps, and one more is the database, something like this. This is the recommended one. I'll design it. Here, what and all component I'll keep? Load balancers, and then bastions, or some of them. And here I'll keep it purely, the name itself is saying it. What and all I'll run? Apache, Nginx, or Python, or Go language, or Java, or like all the done, whatever. All applications I'll run it. The name itself says that. We are using some kind of storage systems, which is called persistence layers. Here we will keep it, databases here. So I'm going to control my own VPC. Some of them public, some of them private. These are purely, name it says, but it is purely private. The same applies here as well. So my objective here is, you should know the application architecture flow, and you should know what component where to keep it, how end user is coming, how admin is coming, how application is connecting to which components and all. How what I mean is, you will control complete this guy. Ingress. One more is the egress. You know this guy.
In models.
Packet. I'm not telling a security group thing. I'm telling, whenever request comes, I will control the total packet within my VPC. Where to go, next to where to go, how to come outside. When I'm coming outside also, where to go, to which IP address also, we can control that thing. This is the one. You can control total with this. So I'm designing my environment, public, private, databases, and then how to come inside, how to go outside. All this I'll be controlling with the VPC. If you go with the default VPC, you don't have this control. So that's what I was saying. Any component, when you are creating security group, EC2 load balancers, the first layer is the VPC. So I was telling, right, one more. When you're creating EC2 machine or load balancer, what is the first component we need to create? Security group. But if you want to create a security group, what is the one you need before? The lock, right? You need VPC. So with that thought, when your new project comes, what is the first thing you have to design? VPC. And when you're designing VPC, you should know the layers, right? Don't go like creating it. If you create it, it's very difficult to change this layer back and back. Very difficult to alter it. You have to recreate every step, and then you have to migrate it. This is the one of the very difficult step, like home construction, something you can think it. With that, my objective was here. Why we are going VPC? Security. I wanted to control it, my own IP addresses and all, and some of them application flow. And how do you design based on the application flow? That is the one, my objective, to give the data. With that, AWS has recommended for us some of the architectures. Just refer it here. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. Just observe some basic VPC. So even if I go to AWS team, right, they'll ask me some kind of question, what application you are using, something they'll ask it. Based upon that, they'll recommend one of these diagram. This kind of diagram they'll recommend. So so what is your application area? Something based upon it, like for example, education. Let's see how it works. Serverless hosting, model for high availability, model. Oh my gosh. Oh, OpenEdX detection. Let's see what is that. There are, yeah, that's okay. Don't care about. Just observe, don't get the confused. You majority all these are all logos. This is you see the keyboard. VPC, and you know the layers. These are the zones, 2 zones. And I was saying, right, some they kept in the public. And you see here, balancer. And load balancer needed how many, like the zones minimum, like 2 more than, right? So they kept here the public subnet, and then there is a private layer, which is called app. Here they are running. Can you see here? What is the software they are running here, for example?
Nginx.
Node. This is the one. And sorry, the completely database layer. If you see somewhere like this logo, right? This is database meaning, this kind of thing. And this is managed by them, AWS. Even if it goes down, they'll available the load balancer here. You see here, database is here. So you see, right, how many layers they designed this one, how many sections they designed in the network point of view, public, private, one more is the private. For applications, they kept separate, and then public, and then the private again, 3. You think end user environment, public subnet, which is, and then apps, and then the database subnet. So that is what you take majority, right? So AWS they'll suggest this kind of architecture diagram. The remote network. You go normally, like you see the VPC flows. You take any, they'll give some kind of model example like this. Open image. First, get this architecture diagram. When you're debugging anything, right? First, get this architecture diagram. You can, otherwise, very difficult to how the request is going. For example, load balancer, public. One more public they kept, one more public. These are the, you think this is the default one. But in the real time, we don't go with this model. I told, right, based upon the application requirement. So, any other questions you want to ask? We never recommend the first rule is never recommend the default VPC. Always create one VPC. I was telling, right, if you come to my environment somewhere, when you get AWS account, we will delete every component. We will give plain AWS account for you. Even you cannot create the VPC components also. That's how we ask AWS team. Please don't create any VPC. Just give us the empty one. That's how we ask them. Or we will only delete the majority resources in the default VPC. So when you try to create EC2 mission in the real-time project, you won't get the first component at all. So you have to first create a VPC, then you have to create all the resources. So now you know, right, the basic rules. Any project, new project comes, the first job is to, for example, I asked you lab setup with HA, high availability. So what do you need first? First is the VPC, next is the security group, next is the LB, next is the EC2 missions. Like this you need. Security groups for application load balancer, EC2 will be 2 availability zones because they told, right, the key. This is the keyword you have to look in the exams, right? They'll ask, please look for the keywords, high availability. So if you have more than 1 availability zone, you have to host it. Nearly 2, minimum 2 you should have. The somewhere else you are running 2 EC2 missions you need. And then the first layer is the VPC. So with this, let me introduce some keywords. So VPC is the one, you can think one flat area, and then we will divide into the again that. First, you have to create VPC. That VPC you have to design into the some kind of thing called subnets. You should have a subnet. By default, you saw, right, what is the middle keyword stands for here? P for
Private.
Private.
By default, when you're creating any VPCs, it is private. You can't access this outside. So if you want to go inside, right, when you created these subnets, you remember subnets, when you are designing, right, the subnets, always design some section like I told some examples for you. One is the
Public is private.
One more is the apps. One more is the
Database.
These two are private by default. This is the name itself is saying public. I'll design it next. So when you create all this is the public, right? So I'm so sorry. All these are called private. Then how do I enter? I need a, like, you think it's a closed area. Now you need to have an entry. So along with the VPC, you need to create, if you want to expose to outside world, you need a one layer called internet gateway. This is called inside AWS. You can say that, for example, this you can think it's a reverse proxy. What does that mean? From outside to private. You are entering from outside inside to private. Private is nothing but the layer is called VPC. You need this layer. So we will attach this. So with that, some components we can enter inside this VPC. Otherwise, you don't have this gateway. You built a boat, you left into the ocean. So ocean is the VPC. You cannot connect. You need a bridge. The bridge is nothing but this guy, internet gateway. Then only you can enter inside VPC. Next. There is a one more guy. You went. So what AWS did, they kept a kind of very good route. You went inside VPC and then you will go to the public subnet. Here load balancers will be there. And then you have some kind of applications. Here I need to install some softwares. I need to get some data from internet. Like when you install, you remember we downloaded a static website, right? Static website you have not downloaded from S3. You downloaded from where? From internet. You took the zip URL and then something, right? If you want to get some data from internet, they kept a one guy. If you want to get anything from internet, they don't allow from here. This is entry. You want to get something from outside to inside. They kept a one guy called NAT gateway. NAT. So why do we need NAT gateway? This is what. From private outside, which is called public. This is what you needed. So from private, I wanted to get some data. Then I need this layer, the NAT gateway layer. Just get the keywords. We will correct the dots again. Okay. So without this, you cannot go to the public. I wanted to get some content or software, some package and all. This mandatory we need. That is the. Now you got all this. Now you connected this, and then we wanted to club some kind of routes. There is you have to create some layer called route table. Route tables. Like for example, you bought a wire, you bought the router, you created all these components. Now you need to connect the dots. The dots all will be done here in the route tables. You will say that you connect to this internet gateway to one guy, connect NAT gateway to one person, keep these things here and all. So these are the ones. These are the components you need. So what are the VPCs consist of? Subnets, internet gateway, NAT gateway, and then this combination, route tables. All these combination we consider as a VPC. How many VPCs we are allowed? By default, per region, they have a limitation, 5 VPCs, 5 VPCs they'll allow. Can I connect from one VPC to another VPC? Yes. Can I connect from one VPC to another cloud VPC? Yes. What I mean, from cloud to GCP, you can connect. There is something you have to do. From AWS to Azure also you can connect. Cross VPC and all possible. That can be done. There is no limitation. One thing very important is when you are connecting, right? Let's say, for example, I'll create a VPC with this number 10.0.0.0. Now you have one more VPC somewhere. It shouldn't be like this then. That is the one you have to see. That is the problem. Address range, VPCs or network. So if someone comes to you the kind of requirement, they create a VPC, first ask them, what is the series of IP address you need? First you need to ask them. This thing you have to ask it. That is what our job. If they don't have answer, you go with this. You see the environment. If there is any IP addresses they are using, then you can decide it. For example, any thoughts, questions you want to ask? Yes, below. Okay. So for all this, there is yes, you can connect. For all this, you can connect. So only the thing is, don't overlap. It's to VPC with same IP address range. That is what our job. This is what you have to take care. Okay. Good. So let me put some keywords. If I say VPC, it is a combination of subnets, IGW, NAT gateway, and one more is the route tables. These are the majority components you will get it. So why do we need internet gateway? If I want to come from internet inside VPC, this is the in between the bridge. If I want to go from private within VPC to outside, this is the guy. This is entry. This is exit, you can think. This is the guy who will club all these guys within VPC. Any thoughts, queries? Hope you guys got it. Please, very important. This is the one, the VPC one. Let me go. Let's see that around the world. Any like why we are going VPC in our words? Can you tell me? What do you understand? Anyone, please?
Security. First.
Yeah, little. We expect some keywords further. Security is a good keyword, but little some more.
More security within our control.
Yeah, you added more and then our control. Some more.
To control our own network.
Yeah, some more. We like. You have to talk a lot. Whatever you know.
Sir, accessibility through private and public.
Okay. Keep it. Need security too. And then yeah, public and private through. Yeah. Some more.
Follow who can access our resources.
Sorry, I missed it.
I mean, to allow who can access our resources, our apps.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that can be, you can do with the default VPC also, right? You can keep a secret group, then why you are going with VPC?
Yeah, I mean, having security.
Connecting
domain.
one VPC to another VPC, regional and another accounts.
Yeah, that is another layer. You can go with the default VPC also, right?
Control for the entire network.
Yeah, how do you control? We will design some public, some private, some databases. So like public subnet, private network. So with that, by default VPCs, everything is in the public. So I don't want to expose my resources into the public. I'll keep some of them in the private network. So I'm dividing my network flow, public, private, like this thing. Okay. Let's explore the one, the go for DVPC one here. I'm not creating it. We'll see, observe the default one. Here you see, right, some of the keywords. VPCs, blah, 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 right? Here, network gateway. Again, you can see something, this layer, right, somewhere. Security group. You can go to EC2 missions or you can come here also, like this. Here are the security groups, you can see. So again, this is from on-premises to cloud. This is like the mirroring the bulk data if you're bringing something, gateways. So this is a section. Majority, it depends upon use case. Regularly, we will be touching this one time. Whenever new project comes, we will touch it. If you are doing from on-premises to the cloud connectivity, then we use this VPN from here. So majority times we touch these layers. These layers we will be touching any project. The basic layer of the project we will touch it. If they have specific use cases, then they may touch on this thing. Okay. So in my previous experience, we were using this, and then this also we did used VPN. I took the help from the on-premises team for this setup. So in the cloud, when you are in on-premises, right, you will not come into this area at all until you are the networking guy. But in the cloud, right, you are the one, the storage team, you are the one network team, the application team. So you have to take care of the all those things. There is no separate team in the cloud. The DevOps guy is the one who will design the network. If you need some input, you can go to the architecture team, something with this. So with this, let's see the VPC. This is the default VPC. So let me select this one. Let's see the tags. Any filtering, we can get it. There is no filter. Go for detailed. And where main kind of keyword will be there now. Okay. So just observe the keywords. See here, can you see here? Just observe here. Something enabled, no? DNS hostname enabled. This is also enabled here. And tenancy default. Please remember these keywords. We will revisit again. DNS hostname, DNS resolution enabled. This thing. Default VPC, yes. And you see the IP address. See IP address. Starting with 170.32. Sorry, I'm sorry, 31. Remaining will be 00. Just copy this. So observe what they say here. Something they're saying CID here. In our keywords, it is IP address, you think something. This is the one. And then tenancy default shared. DNS hostname enabled, and then the resolution. DNS related, both the keywords are checkboxed, enabled. Now, when you create a VPC, right, you got this thing. Observe here, VPC ID. For EC2 mission, what do you get extra? When you create a EC2 mission, what is that call here? You will get some problem. When you get a EC2 mission, what do you see on the screen? Like this VPC ID is something, instance ID you will get, right?
Right.
When you create a security group also, you will get a security group ID. Something.
Yeah.
Just keep these keywords. Now, you see route table is there here, some blah, blah, blah. Just the, now I told now what are the components of the VPC? Can you guys help me here? First is the VPC, next VPC will be divided into the some layers. No?
Yeah. Subnets,
This is the guy, let's go.
IG, internet gateways.
Yeah, now we'll see. See, this is the, how many subnets we have here total? Three.
Three.
Can you see here how they created it?
Yeah. Zone.
1:1 or Prajita, your video is on, Prajita. I'll stop it. So you see right here, how many subnets we have here?
3.
Just observe here how they created all in
Same region, different availability zones.
Yeah, did they create all the subnets in one zone or 1:1? Something.
Different zones.
1:1, right? If you see that 3 subnets,
Yes.
3 availability zones.
Yes.
Can we create availability zone?
No.
By default, it is
No.
No, right? That is not our control. It is a place data center. Availability zone nothing but a place, right? You cannot control. But we can create this guy. Which guy we can create? Subnet. When you're creating a subnet, what we can choose? This guy. In which availability zone we need to create? What is the good practice? I told, right? When you're creating any component, HA, creating across all the availability zone. In case that zone goes down, I have availability of my subnets again. So what you need to do? Subnets are within zone. Okay, that we will see. And let's select one. Just we will observe here. You see some guy here, route table, and then just observe. And then you see here, there is again IP address range for subnets I'm selecting.
Yeah.
Just observe here. There is a one more guy, no? Just logical question, logical math calculation. We have total here 4 digits. First 17231 something blah blah blah. Okay. Which digits are changing? Like just
Last 2 digits.
Last 2 digits are not only changing.
Third,
Right?
yeah.
Last 2 digits.
Third one.
Last 2 digits, yeah, third one. Keep this thought in a VPC, right? when you are designing it, these first two won't change. That is the networking basics. Like these are all domain something host and all. Last two only will be changing. These two, when you're creating a VPC, right? I create a VPC, like for example, I'll create a VPC like this 10.1.0.0/16 something. When I'm creating a subnet, I cannot go like this within that VPC. I cannot go. It won't allow. Syntax, some basic syntax. When you're creating a VPC, you have to take this series only, but these two you can change. That is the basics. It has to go like this only. Correct. The incorrect one? 10.2 incorrect. You can't. Not only in 10.2, you have to go mandatory this one. Not only, if you take any other thing, it will throw an error because that is out of scope for me. Okay. That is the one you have to remember. Very important. First two you have to carry for next subnets. Next other ones will change. That depends upon. These two will change. These two will not change. That is the basic funda first that we expect from you. Okay.
The first two, how we can decide, sir?
That's I was telling, right? Depends upon. You have to ask them, do you have any specific number to go in the architecture discussion or whenever requirement comes? Otherwise, you see that, is there any VPCs are existing in the environment? And in future, you ask a lot of questions to them. Do we connect from one cloud to another cloud? Then do we have from on-prem to here connectivity? Do we have any existing VPCs? You go and then check it. Then you go and then decide it. If they don't have any questions, you go like that. I'll tell you the recommended what AWS do. We will follow that recommended formula. You got the question? What tell me? Yeah. Cool. So you have to design your own way. There is AWS recommended some, we will follow them. Otherwise, ask them if they have requirement, you go with that. That is good. So yeah. Now observe here. Some 16. If I keep these three in order, na, keep in the order, na, which one will come first with this? You think one,
The last one.
The last one.
two, this is the three, right?
3,
Yeah, first one will come. The order, how it will come first?
3 will come first.
2, 1, right? Like this first.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Yeah. Now this is the one. Here to 2. Yeah, same. So you know one thing now. Every subnet is part of zone. Okay, that is the one. Cool. 0, 3 to 16. 31. Okay. Now let's go back here. Can you see here what they were telling here? Something. How many IPCs you can get from here? How many? How many? What is that meaning is when you're creating EC2 mission, right? You will select EC2 missions are in the. I was telling now EC2 missions are part of what internally? Something. Zone, right? When you're creating
Right.
Zone based.
when you're creating a when you're creating a security group, will it ask zone? Any
Yeah,
No.
it asks.
security group?
City group, no.
No.
Load balancer?
It will ask.
It will ask.
3 zones, something, right? Zones. Keep
Yes.
this thought. You are not selecting zone, not. You are selecting behind subnet only. They are keeping that in the subnet, not zone is just they say the keyword. Behind, if you go to that, if you observe next time, you are selecting a subnet actually. That. So with that, so when you're creating EC2 mission, what are you selecting within a VPC? You are placing your EC2 mission inside a subnet.
Subnet.
So how many EC2 missions I can create? How many IP addresses I can get? How many load balancers I can get? This many here right now.
4089. I get
4089. Here how many? 4089. 4089 something. How this number is coming? Because of this guy. You see here /20. /20. Because of this guy. Because of this guy. What is this thing? Please observe. This is the one you will get in the interviews. x.x.x.x/n. There is some math calculation is there for this. Or 2 something.
Yeah, 2 to the power of
n
n.
minus 2 something. Let's see. Am I correct or not? So 2 power of n. Let's say, for example, 2 power of, if you see, na, tell me, you could have seen it, x dot slash 32. I'm sorry, not 2, 32. 1 second.
Yeah, n minus 32. Correct.
Yeah, n minus 32. This is the formula. Okay. So this is the formula for okay. So now, can you guys tell me here what is the n value here?
30.
32.
So 1 second, man. I missed it. I'm sorry. 1 second. N minus 32 minus 32, 2 power of something. No. 1 second. I did it. Somewhere, sorry, I also lost the contest. 32 minus 2 power of.
No, actually, first we have to do the 32
N.
minus 32. Means
X.
that is
Let's
n
say
minus
y. 2
yeah.
power of y.
Right.
I'm sorry. I also lost the context. This is the formula. Okay.
Right.
So I'll say that. Yeah, this is the thumb rule formula. 32 minus n, whatever the value you will get, 2 power of y. This is the formula. I'm sorry if I confused it. So now with this, I know this one. With that tool, I'm bringing the calculator. Okay. So with this, can you guys tell me here? Apply this same formula. Just apply here now. Already I have value is 32.
Right.
32 minus
32 minus 32, 0 to the power of 0, 2.
0, 1, right? Anything.
Yeah.
2 power of 0 normally, like anything is 0 is called 1, right? Now, how many IPs you will get it with this is called 1 IP, for example. 1 IP. Use this. I would say that first calculate like this. You, let's say, for example, one more. They'll ask you, I have seen they'll ask you for /5. Because that is easy, right? Math calculation. /5. How many IPs will get? Do same.
32 minus 5, 27. 2 to the power of 27.
No, they'll ask you for 27. I'm sorry. They'll ask you for 27. Yeah, because that is 27 minus how many?
5.
No, 5. 2 power of 5?
32.
Yeah, they'll expect you this thing to do at least some calculation, whether you know the basics or not, at least. 32, they'll expect you from you. That use this calculator, 32 minus thing like this, math calculator. Otherwise, there is a good website. We use this one, cad.xyz. I'm sorry, cad.xyz. Go for this. Do like this. For example, 0. You see here now? How many IP addresses came now?
16.
16. 32 minus 28 equals 4, and then 2 power of 4 is 16. Like this, we will calculate. With this, what was the CIDR range AWS was using here in the VPC?
20.
20, right? Let's keep that same thing. 20. You see it? 4096. 4096 are IP addresses are coming. So what we expect from you when you are designing a VPC, you should know what is / something. This is for /n. This number of
IP7.
you can use. That is the one / number of use. You can use it. So
we
yeah.
can use only here private IPs, right? Like 10, 172, and 182.
For VPC, yes. Either 10, 172, 192. These 3 only you can use. You can't use the public.
Understood.
Yeah. Now, you could have observed long back. Let's see. This guy, just go. Go for here. Just for example, long back you could have allowed, no? Let's see. Security group, you could have allowed this, no? Is it right? What does that mean? How many IPs it will allow now?
1.
Because 30, same formula, 32 minus 32. So with this, you are allowing here, right? What is that one you are selecting here?
My IP.
So how many IPs it will allow now? Only the
1
IP it will allow. That is okay. So my objective now here, you need to get the basics of VPC. It won't change. The first two numbers will not change. Next other 2 will be changing. And what is /? N is the same thing. Should know.
Number of IPs.
Yeah. So the good recommended one, when you are designing it complete VPC, right? /16 is the recommended. They ask you good to go, recommended for VPC. Under this VPC, let's see what is /16 will get. This we will use for VPC. You can go with these two your choice. 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, 10.5 till what number it may go? This number.
255.
Something, right? Yeah. So it doesn't go more than 255, right? That is IP basics. So very important. 10, 192, 172. These numbers you can go with your choice, but ending is /16 is your choice. So these two, this is the good choice to go. /16 is the good choice recommended by the AWS. How many IPs we get now with this /16?
65,000.
65K. This is for VPC. Then VPC total 65K. And divide those IPs. IPs to whom? Subnet. So observe here. I was telling now AWS. AWS, what is the VPC side range was? 172. What was that? Here I had this one. They went with this series. They divided subnets here. Total, how many IP addresses will come here? Total 65K, right? Now, how many IPs they used now? Yeah.
3.
No, total how many IPs they used? Each subnet, how many IPs were there? If you could have seen in the screen.
20.
Okay, 4,089.
Like 4,000 something, right? You think it 12K.
Right.
Still there are left, right? Unused IPs and all is there, na? Still.
Right.
So you have to divide that when you are designing the environment, right? Little math calculation, but when you are doing hands-on, you will get it. So what I mean is, whatever you did a VPC, let's say for example, I'll go like this now. 10.0.0 /16. I'll get a 65K IPs. Now I want to design public, private, then the database. What is the good number to share about those? Always don't leave IP addresses. Here they left it. How many IPs they left? Almost like something 32,000 something they're wasting, right? So always good allocation. Can you guys tell me here how many I can allocate? Good number. For public, I want to divide 65 by 3.
22.
Okay.
22. Okay.
21. Okay. I think, for example. Okay. Can I allocate? Is it mandated to have equal? No. You can allocate here 24. You can allocate like this also you can do. That's your choice. No need to go with equal calculation. No. You can allocate here more and then you can reduce here, that you can do. What is the number it will decide? How many IP addresses? What is that decide?
/n.
Slash something, right?
/n.
I wanted 21,000 IP addresses in this. Now let's go here. Please observe. First public I wanted to design. I'll go here. 10.0.0. In this, I wanted how many IP addresses? For example, first one I wanted 21K.
21.
Go on and do here. For example, 18, 19. No. Then I need to increase 17. 32. Then one more series is there. What was that? 16. No, not 16. Sorry. 19. 8 address. 20. No, it's reducing it. 19, 18. How many nearly I'm getting here? Total 16. So I can go with the for example here. How many I can go? For example here, what is the series?
18.
/18. So what is the my side starting one? 10.0.0.0 /18 I allocated, right? This is the 10.0.0.0 /16. In this I'm allocating this one 10.0.0.0 /18. Please observe next. This is the very important. Please observe next. Now I need to allocate for this guy, right? Here also.
Right.
No. I cannot allocate this one.
You have to change the last one, like one mask.
You know, right? Why you cannot allocate? Because all these IPs you already reserved to this guy. You cannot reuse the same IP addresses here. With that, Observe here. You see right here.
Yeah.
What they're saying here. Last IP.
Last usable IP.
Now,
10.060.
now observe here. This IP will go here last till here. Now I need to design the private, right? If I want to design the private, here I need to start with this series. Observe here. I'll keep this one. I'll keep this one 0. I'll start with this number next.
64.
64. Slash, I'll say that 18. Till here, IPs will be used for this guy. Next, I cannot reuse this layer again because simple funda. Simple, I'll tell you, very easy. You have a land, 1 acre land, you made a plots from this, for let's say from 1 feet to 2, next to 30 feet to 1 person. Next, one more person is coming for a plot, right? He wanted also land. Then what do? You will calculate from 1 or after 30 you will calculate. After 30, right? Normal. You can't override the same place to for many people, right? Same way applies. Like however the foot applies here, the IPs applies here as well. You can't reuse the same IP address for another network, another zone, another subnet. You have to start with the next place, same way. So with that, here I wanted to allocate how many, for example? I wanted only 8K. Which number will change in this?
18. We have to change to 18 to some other.
Yeah. Bring this number here. Go here, 0. Replace this number, 64. Here you have to play a little game. What was that? 20. Next 21. It is reducing it. Now let's go 19.1. Yeah. You think it? What is the series I can go for? This is the 19. You know the formula, right? 19 means 32 minus 19 equal to power of value. That is right. Okay. Now, with this, if you know the logical calculation, what number will stay here? Tell me.
The n number is 95.
You have the value right here. Copy this.
We have to start with 96.
96.
Always put like this. No, put like this. Okay. Now start here. I want to start like this. So this will go again. Will reset to 0.
96.
96.
You know, when you are doing VP calculation, right? 2 numbers blindly you have to keep it. It won't change. Only the change was last 2 digits.
96. 0.
0. So you ask them again. How many IPs I needed here? You can I allocate more here? Can I allocate? You can. That's your choice. But when you're allocating it, allocate in such a way that it has to come somewhere very well, and then somewhere I'll come on that. I'll tell you where and I'll allocate. Now go for here. I need 4K. Which number I need to change again here? This
19.
Slash value, right? Yeah. Let's test now 20 wala. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting slash 20 right here, 4K. You can see that. Now, what is the IP address last one?
We have to change 96. 64 to 96.
I'm sorry.
There. No.
Something is not good.
Yeah, because you haven't changed in 64 to 96 in the
acha. You mean here?
There in the.
No, sorry.
That is correct. In the website.
Acha. Yeah. That's right.
That we have to keep.
Yeah. True. Here 64. Now it is going with the 95. Now I have to put the 96. By seeing IP address, we need to. I know somewhere else it went wrong. That's all. Okay.
Yeah. 111. 111.
Last one. Yeah. Is the last one. You have to design. Now this is the last IP address. Always get the last IP address. Next, this will get reset to 0. Next increment number you need to assign to based upon your IP address range. Good. So any questions you want to ask? Cool. So can I allocate more IP addresses for here, right? This layer, I will say that apps layer. So good number was, please observe it. This is very important. Always, when you're designing VPs, right? It's not good practice to buy 3. It's not good practice because you are allocating somewhere unused IPs many places. Good practice, find where more IPs will go. That is with my experience. Even if you go to some YouTubes and all, they'll not. This is what we got with experience with my working. So first, find where in a VPC is combination of what? Subnets.
Subnets.
Find which subnet need more IPs. First, you need to design that. First one. Always first create that. Create that. At the last, create it. First, I'll find the which that is the one you have to create first. So in this, no, which one will needed more IP addresses is always application layer, because we will create more EC2 machines. We will not create more databases. In real time, we don't create. We will not create more load balancers. No. I was telling, right, if you are using application load balancer, it supports this thing, na? The path-based, host-based and all, right? With the path-based, host-based, if you are using ALB, how many load balancers we use? One. Behind, more EC2 machines will be running, right? Applications. So with that, first, we will give more IPs to application subnet layer, application layer, this layer. We will allocate little more here, very little less in this layer, public subnet layer. We will allocate it. So more IPs needed for application layer. Next will come the database layer, and then the public subnet layer. Here we will also allocate lesser IPs. Can I alter later? Possible, bit little complex. You have to do little changes under, but better instead of altering later, some features it won't allow altering it. So with that restriction, allocate this strategy. Whoever needed more IPs, design that first. Go with that ordering. Okay, don't start like first number this one and all. So that is the one you have to keep it. That. Any questions? Thoughts? Cool. So let me pass it here for today. Let me revisit the keywords. Pass it here. Just a minute. We'll see. Cool. So please help me here. If I ask you. Same. Go network flow. Components in VPC. Can you guys help me here? What are the components?
Subnets.
VPC.
Subnet,
And the VPC will have a number, no? What is that number?
ADR.
range,
And it will have a
Subnet.
subnets also will have a same.
CADR.
CADR classless inter-domain range, that they say. CIDR we will be calling subnet. Next, it will have IGW and then the NAT gateway, internet gateway, NAT gateway and all. Then we use a route table. These are the combination. And VPC is always two numbers will be static. For example, X dot, we'll say that A dot B dot, for example, C dot D slash E. Let's keep it N, easy. So the first numbers A dot B
Start.
won't change. Static, yeah, that is good. Static. So how many number of
IPs slash N.
we get? Correct. Thumb rule is 32 minus N equal to X. The value is 2 power of, that is the formula you have, 2 power of X. The
IPs.
IPs we get. That is the one we have to get it. And VPC divided into again to what? I'm sorry. Into subnet. When you're creating a subnet, okay, please help me here. What is the keyword?
We can private.
Yeah, private only, but subnets again distributed into behind. You could have two, no? Each I was saying, no?
Jones.
Jones availability. So these are the basics you should have. So we'll see little further. You got little context here. This I like it. This one. We'll see tomorrow, like the design and other thing. We'll see. Yeah.
So first two numbers we can decide before only, right? So that it won't change.
Yeah, that won't change. First only you have to decide. Any requirement comes, ask always that question. What, even if they come to any, like whatever experience, right? Even my architect also, they'll ask me the question. Do you have any specific IP address number? You have to go. You have to ask this question to them. Yeah. Any team. If someone,
Maximum subnets in a VPC, sir?
sorry,
Five.
sorry.
Maximum subnets in a VPC we can create.
There is a limitation. I don't remember exactly the number, but there is a limitation. You can't go more than that, but there is a limitation. But that subnets are within your 65K only. You have to create whatever you are creating it. Yeah.
You told some 5 numbers, sir. That's why.
No, that is VPCs. VPCs per region. How many VPCs? Not subnets.
One region can have maximum of 5 VPCs.
5 VPCs. Yes. Yeah. That is the limit. They'll ask you this kind of basic internal question whether you are familiar. Yeah. Cool then. So tomorrow we'll go little on the more. My objective was on the application flow along with the network flow. That is the one. Okay. So let me pass it here. Record stop recording. Yeah.
Recording stopped.
Charan, you have a laptop? Charan, with you have a laptop. Someone was asking. Can you share your screen?
So I will send my password and root is.
No, Charan, can you share your screen? You are with laptop or not? No. You have laptop?
No, sir.
You don't have, is it?
Okay, I'm not.
No, I cannot log in, Charan. If you have screen, you can share immediately. Yesterday we connected with the Bhavan after this session. Like, so I was asking them, you can share your screen. We will do right away.
Sir, I'm not logging with laptop, sir.
You can ping me. Once you log in, you ping me. I'll join with you. I'll send you the Zoom link. We can join together and then we can fix it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Guys. Yeah.